Honorable Secretary Cesar Villanueva, Chair of the GCG, and Honorable Deputy Commissioner Peter Chong of the Insurance Commission, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank IFC for sponsoring this forum on the ACGS. My appreciation extends, of course, to the keynote speaker, Mr. Eduardo Martinez Miranda, who has spoken comprehensively and extensively on the topic of corporate governance. I came here without hesitation because good corporate governance among PLCs in the Philippines is one of SEC's major missions and ambition. After the SRC, or the Securities Regulation Code, was enacted in 2000, and the first Code of Corporate Governance was issued by SEC in 2002, the SEC, beginning in 2007, repeated in 2008 and 2009, embarked on the use of a CG scorecard among PLCs. By the way, I'd like to acknowledge, of course, our former chair of the SEC, Attorney February, who actually started corporate governance in the Philippines. It was during her term when we actually implemented the CG scorecard. It was a tripartite collaboration among ICD, the PSE, and the SEC. Its objective was to provide us with empirical data on the state of corporate governance to help PLCs develop or strengthen their CG structures and mechanisms. And I understand that accomplished scorecards were being filed with the Corporation Finance Department of the SEC. In 2009, the code was modified by SEC and became known as the Revised Code of Corporate Governance. A significant progress was made in 2010 when the SEC enjoined all PLCs to attend a briefing on the guidelines for the online submission of CG scorecards. Okay, so shortly after I assumed position of chairperson of the SEC in 2011, I learned about the ICD and its partnership with SEC in the area of CG. In fact, one of my early speeches was in the launch or release of the results of the ICD Corporate Governance Survey of 2010. The results for that year showed that the average score of the participating PLCs was at 77%. That was, by the way, already up by 4 points from the score of 73% the year before. Now, meanwhile, we created the Corporate Governance Division within our Corporation Finance Department of the SEC. So now we have a division exclusively devoted to corporate governance. Its functions are to monitor and supervise compliance by covered persons and entities, CG rules and regulations, recommend policies and measures to promote corporate governance, and to review the activities of financial conglomerates in relation to corporate governance and coordinate with relevant government agencies when appropriate. Now, early this year, I was requested by the ASEAN Capital Market Forum, or the ACMF, to participate in the ongoing project being led by Malaysia under an ADB grant to submit the name of a Philippine expert on corporate governance. Of course, it was my pleasure to nominate none other than Mr. Philippine Corporate Governance himself, Dr. Jess. Due to the non-participation of the Philippines in the early stages of the project, I'd have to admit that Dr. Jess came in rather late. The forum had already crafted the initial ASEAN Corporate Governance Scorecard, or the ACGS, and Dr. Jess was, of course, forced to just put in whatever expert contribution he could do at that stage. The rest of what happened, Dr. Jess and ICD would be in a better position to narrate as they had earlier. The SEC is committed to continue to support the efforts of everyone concerned, the PLCs, our own corporate governance division staff, the PLCs themselves, our international partners such as IFC, OECD, ADB, and last but not least, ICD. It is without doubt that SEC will not be able to single-handedly bring things to where they are now, were it not for these persons and entities I have just mentioned. Neither would we have hope and expectation that ultimately Philippine PLCs will score highly were it not for ICD waving its magic wand in the whole process. While the ACGS was moving along with ICD, guiding Philippine participation therein, the SEC, in accordance with its commitment under the revised Code of Corporate Governance, implemented the ACGR, or the Annual Corporate Governance Report for PLCs. So last April 2012, the SEC sought public comments, and after taking into consideration these comments, as well as the OECD principles, and of course, the ASEAN Corporate Governance Scorecard and other codes of corporate governance of our ASEAN neighbors, the NBank approved our revised Annual Corporate Governance Report, or the ACGR, October 25, 2012, and directed the Corporation Finance Department to work with PSE for its implementation. On February 19, 2013, the Corporate Governance Division met with ICD representatives, and they agreed that the ACGR will be most useful in aiding the evaluation and verification of the ASEAN Corporate Governance Scorecard submissions, especially since its provisions, principles, and policies were already in one form or another similar. So there's really a parallelism between our own ACGR and the ACGS. And in fact, the ACGR was supposed to have been submitted, I think, end of May, but we got a lot of requests for extensions from compliance officers because, according to them, since it was made a requirement that independent directors are supposed to sign off on the ACGR, they were now going to sit with their compliance officers and go one by one over the answers. And I said, well, that's good, at least independent directors are now truly and genuinely involved in doing what they're supposed to do as independent directors. Now, the date of submission of the duly accomplished ACGR is June 30, which is this Sunday. And because of my litigation experience, when you say that something is due on Sunday, that actually means the next day. So actually, the submission will be on Monday. And we've already gotten a lot of feedback before that they wanted another extension, but they said, no, we can't give another extension. I think that we've given them enough time. As you notice that the ACGR project was actually already in the revised Code of Corporate Governance of 2009. And it took us also about 2 years to formulate the ACGR. And when we release it for public comment, they should have expected that they would be filling the report soon and submitting to us. The SEC is waiting with great anticipation the ACGRs from the PLCs in order that we can already sift through the answers, collect data, create the matrix, the tables, capturing results, and more importantly, determine whether indeed our PLCs, after or based on their submissions, and undergoing, of course, the training and updating by ICD, would be way ahead of the game when they take part again in the ASEAN's Corporate Governance Scorecard on or before 2015. At no other time does the SEC need more the support, cooperation, and participation of everyone here than at this time. Thank you in advance for the submission of the ACGR, and of course, good luck to all of us for the success of the Philippine participation in the ASEAN Corporate Governance Scorecard. Thank you.